Welcome back to News Watch. Today we've gathered the three GOP candidates running for South Carolina Attorney General to discuss the issues. And I should also add that Matthew Richardson is the lone Democratic candidate for South Carolina Attorney General. There's his picture right there. We will be seeing and hearing from him in the next weeks or months here, of course, after the primary, maybe before the primary. Let's go ahead and let the candidates ask each other some questions. Mr. Wilson, why don't you go ahead first and ask either whoever you want to ask, Mr. Lord or Mr. Bolches.
I'll pitch it up for both of them.
Okay.
When was the last time that either one of you ever prosecuted a criminal case at any point or detained or captured a criminal in South Carolina?
I'll answer that. I have not.
Prior to 1998.
Prior to 1998. Okay. Mr. Lord, why don't you go ahead and ask a question?
As everyone knows, I represented Boeing in that deal. There are attack ads being run against me, maligning Boeing and my role in Boeing. My question to both of my opponents are, do their campaigns have anything to do with those ads, and do they agree with the ads?
Mr. Wilson?
We have nothing to do with the ads, and I disagree with the ad.
Okay. Mr. Bolches?
No. And my only exception with the ads, or with the position the state's taken or Layton's taken, is that I believe there's a lack of transparency in that deal that, you know, I think causes some of the citizens of the state to be ill at ease with the arrangement.
Okay. The ad has been pulled in the upstate, though, from what we understand, correct?
I had a press conference on Tuesday, and I attacked the ad, and they pulled it down.
Okay. Mr. Bolches, your question.
My question would be, first for Layton, notwithstanding your view that the Attorney General is not a prosecutor, God forbid that one of your family members were a victim of a violent crime, which one of us, Alan or myself, would you be more comfortable with prosecuting the criminal that committed the crime?
First, I agree that the Attorney General is the chief prosecutor. I do not agree that the Attorney General needs prosecutorial experience to hold that position, because the Attorney General can hire folks like you or like Alan to run the office, run the statewide grand jury, and handle that position very well. And I don't know enough about either of your prosecutorial experience to answer that question.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Wilson, do you have another question?
No, sir.
No? Mr. Lord?
Sure. We all know that the next Attorney General is going to have less money. The General Assembly, everyone I talk to is assured that. I'd like each of my opponents to tell me how many budgets they've had to make in the private sector.
Mr. Wilson?
Well, first off, let me put that in context. The Attorney General's office has been run. They have a Human Resources Department and administration. The Attorney General comes in. That office has been running long before the Attorney General gets there. It runs long after. Just like the law firm that Mr. Lord came from, when he ascended to the managing partner of Nixon Pruitt, had never managed anything before in his life. He stepped into the budget and was able to do it effectively. I have not managed a large law firm, but I have managed soldiers on the battlefield. I have managed prosecution teams in the courtroom, and I know how to manage people, and not just manage people, but lead people. And, you know, like I said, the office is already set up to run itself. It just needs a rudder. It needs direction, and that's what the Attorney General provides, direction for the office.
Mr. Bolches?
You know, I work on my own, so I manage my budget, and I've managed a small law office budget. But I got to tell you, the most important thing is that I've managed the Attorney General's office budget from 95 to 98. So I understand this problem of getting a lot of work done with limited resources within state government, and I recognize it. I know how to get it done.
Did you have any other questions, Mr. Bolches?
You know, I've got one question, and I'll throw it up for Alan since I already asked Layton the question. Attorney General McMaster recently made a decision in terms of how to resolve the potential ethics matters against Governor Sanford, and I would just be curious if Alan were the Attorney General, how would he have resolved those questions?
Well, first off, there's several things that were going on at the same time. You had a potential criminal investigation, which I did not have the file in front of me, and as a prosecutor, you never make a decision without looking at the file. There was also an ethics investigation going on, which I was not privy to, and then there's also the impeachment, the investigation by the General Assembly. So for me to be able to comment beyond what I read in the state paper would be inappropriate. But as Attorney General, I probably would have proceeded the same way as the current Attorney General has.
Okay, and that's it. That's all the questions. We're Afraid we weren't going to get that in the last segment, but y'all did great. Thank you very much. I thank all of you for being here this morning, and thank you for watching Newswatch. Thanking our guests, Robert Bulchis, Leighton Lord, and Alan Wilson for joining us this morning. The South Carolina primary election is coming up soon. It's June 8th. Thank you for watching this morning.